This season on Citizen University TV, we've studied 9 strategies of citizen power. First, you can change the game of power by adjusting the arena and making it smaller or bigger to your advantage, by identifying how the game is rigged and re-rigging those rules, and then by attacking not your opponent, but your opponent's plan and strategy. You change the story of power by describing the alternative, because you can't beat something with nothing, by organizing in narratives and creating a bigger story of us that people want to be part of, and finally, by making your fight a fable and giving people a sense of an arc, a mythic direction to the activism they're involved in. Finally, you change the equation of power. First, by acting exponentially. That means activating networks that amplify your power. Second, by acting reciprocally and using mutual aid to generate more power. And finally, by performing power. That is using art and creativity and imagination to generate power where it didn't exist before. Now let's take a look at some of these strategies in action, some of the highlights of the stories and the people we've met this season.
Artist activism for me is about working with young folks and helping them elevate their voices.
So say whatever I get on my paper is good.
Whatever I get on my paper is good.
My poem is dope.
My poem is dope.
Awesome.
There are a lot of young people that get overlooked and their communities get overlooked. And when they tell their stories through art, powerful things happen both for them and the hearts and minds of other people.
We're trying to connect and empower communities. Right now we're in this moment where immigrants and refugees are feeling a lot less safe than they were, and I think a lot of people want to show solidarity. I think food is a way that allows people to connect.
What if we put homes in the backyards of residential lots as a means for housing the homeless? In total, we have 27 families around the city that have said yes.
The real issue is really getting people to say, will you help me? You have to have the community see that they're building it rather than being told.
We relied on our relationships with people to get messages to Angela before she even showed up that there's a No New Youth Jail campaign happening in this community.
So I understand that for the last 5 years, activists here have been passionately organizing to prevent the construction of a new youth prison.
We did influencing the program, right? And those were different skills than, other folks would have expected us to be using, but it was effective.
No new youth jail.
If we're not heard, we'll shut it down! If we're not heard, we'll shut it down!
You are the stories that you tell yourself and about yourself. And for me, I was tired of someone else, some other organization that was not embedded in the area, telling stories about it in a very sensationalistic manner.
9906, Greg.
Let's get her done!
Let's get her done!
I think the most important steps in getting this paper off the ground and growing the network that supports this paper was that came from the community with community involvement and community input.
And then this paper is all over the world, and I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. Even over there in Australia where they sell papers, street papers, I'm a part of that.
We decided to shut it down by placing ourselves in arrest and possible arrest, and some of us to be placed even on the deportation proceedings by shutting down the street, doing a civil disobedience action. That led a couple of weeks later to the largest hunger strike ever so far in a detention center where 1,200 people decided to go on hunger strike to call attention to the inhumane detention conditions they were living.
We're part of a nationwide, grassroots, unpaid movement that has taken the country by storm.
Most people just want to work. If you don't give them that opportunity, then you're giving them, I don't want to say a reason, but you are giving them a reason to go back to old ways. When you have an organization going in and advocating for that person, those challenges kind of just disappear.
Yeah, trying to get me into one of the unions. I mean, every little bit helps.
They want to see somebody succeed because then they say, well, if he can succeed, I can succeed.
Solidarity with the people. When I think of what a people's movement is about, it's really about like claiming the power that we have to live in the world that we believe we should be living in, and not a world that's filled with oppression and injustice and all the things that feel seemingly unmovable.
Well, here's how you can stay in touch with us. And if you want to catch past episodes, go to seattlechannel.org/citizenuniversitytv. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next season. I'm Eric Liu. Keep practicing power.